Let's do this. Hi friends, welcome to episode 85 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadira Tani. Thank you so much for coming to spend some time with me today. I have no idea what today's date is. It's a Thursday and it's May. That's all I got for you. My brain is kind of kerfuffled. Yes, my brain is kerfuffled. It's been a difficult week for my family, and I have decided to record today as a way of moving, just moving, because really what I want to do is curl up in the bed and just stay there. Yes, so I will talk about that later maybe, but I take 1 week off of recording and I don't know what I say at the beginning of videos. If this is your first time watching me, I apologize for what looks like me having no idea what to do during a podcast. I am coming to you from my home in Central Florida, and it's a nice day out, and I'm very grateful for that. So how about we talk about some crafts and some making, because the making has been my life jacket this week, y'all. I tell you no lies. I tell you no lies. All right. Yeah, let's just start talking about things that I'm doing with my hands and creating with my hands, because there's no focus in here. There's no focus. It's like static. Just right there behind my temples, static. That's what's going on right now. But thank you for being here today. All right, so we'll start out with some things that I have finished. First, let's talk about this top. If you are a longtime viewer, you would have seen this top when I first finished it. This is the Hongdae. Yes, the Hongdae top by Trish Young. It is a crochet top made in pieces. You do the front, you do the back, and then you seam up the sides. When I first made this, I was like chicken about doing mattress seaming. I don't know why, but I was. So I just did a single crochet seam up the side, and I wore it one time for the video, like the podcast that I recorded after finishing it originally, and that was the only time I wore it. And I'm pretty sure that I finished this a year ago, or a little bit less than a year ago. And I folded it up and had not taken it out because I really hated how the single crochet seams looked. Like at first I was like, ooh, exposed seams, we're cool and trendy. And then I was like, no, that looks like trash. So essentially all I did was I ripped out the seams and I did mattress stitch. And it's not as invisible as it would be on like knitting. And I think that's just because I had to go into the sides of stitches because you're going up the side of your crochet. But I really like how it looks now compared to what it looked like before. And I feel like now I'm much more likely to wear this top. So thumbs up for that. I think what gave me the kind of push to actually fix this top was Mars of the Hey Brownberry podcast. Is I don't know if it's still going on or what the dates were, but she had like a make along called the Finally Fix It Mal, whatever. But essentially, the goal of that was to take those projects that you like weren't happy with because of whatever reason and fix it so that you can wear the piece or use the piece or what have you. So yeah, it's wearable now and I'm much happier with it. This yarn, it's a 100% acrylic yarn that I got from Joann's. It was their Lion Brand cake yarn. Cupcake? And I want to say the colorway was like Sunny Days or something like that. But yeah. Thumbs up. I'm very happy with it. My next finished object is, I have like nothing organized. That's just gonna be like the moral of this episode, is Kalisha doesn't have anything really organized, so bear with her. Sticks and stuff under my bags. But my next finished object is my Susanna Racer bag, and this is a pattern by Elizabeth Desamore. And dun, 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 here it is, and there's the racer bag. The reason that I'm not wearing it right now is because I have discovered that I need to get a new strapless bra. And I thought about wearing it like, you know, free boobing, but I think it just looks better with like the structure of a bra underneath it. So I made this from, what yarn is this, y'all? You don't know, because this wasn't like this in the last podcast. This is Lion Brand Comfy Cotton, something like that. But I do know the colorway is Poppy. And yes, I got it. It comes in a cake. It was at Walmart for like $5, something like that. But my original, do I have? Of course not. I will put up a picture of the original yarn that I was going to use for this top. Now, the reason I didn't use that yarn was, as you can see in the picture, it started to pool in a really, I felt, unflattering way, and I didn't want to see what it would continue to look like. It was like, if I was intending for it to have like a planned pooling effect, that would have been great because the pooling was in a zigzag, but that's not the party that I wanted to have on my torso. So those two skeins of yarn will be repurposed into something else. But yeah, so I decided to go with this. One, because I hadn't used the yarn before and I wanted to try it out. Two, because every time I walked past this yarn in Walmart, I felt like the red was just like making eyes at me. Three, I felt like I think it's a cotton acrylic blend, would be like more Florida appropriate than the cotton alpaca blend, which was the other fiber that I was originally using. Now, I modified this pattern a little bit. It is a free pattern there's a link on Ravelry which takes you to the website where the free pattern is. But it is intended to be a crop top. Now, I'm not really a crop top kind of girl, so I went for the longer length. Now, let me Okay, so when you're crocheting this top, you crochet like the whole body part, like up to here, and then you do the sides like that, right? When I did the longer length up to the end point, it was still going to be a crop top on me. Now, I don't know if I have like a long torso or what the deal is, but I was like, my back is still going to be out. So let me fix this. So I crocheted it, I think 6 rows taller. And I also ended up making it wider. Now in the pattern, Elizabeth says that if you want to make it bigger, to increase in sets of 8 stitches. So I increased by 1 set of 8 stitches and then made it 6 rows taller in order to like fit me. I could have, like, part of me feels like I should have just made it to the pattern size, because the reason that I went up was I crocheted the whole bit and then I measured it, and it was like a few inches less than half of my like torso circumference, because it's not really my waist measurement, it was like my rib cage measurement, and I didn't want it to be like really tight. So I went ahead and increased, and then when I did the back to the smaller size. The only thing that I don't really like about the way I did the modifications was, okay, you can see it really good right here. So this is the straight edge that you seam to the back. Because I added the extra length, I've got this little mabob going on here, which should have been like here, but it's whatever, it's fine. I really like the shell pattern that she has for like the details. There you go. Hello? Can you see that? It's kind of clear. Why don't I just show you here? Little shell going down the middle, and then the straps joined together for the racer back. And I think it's a really cute top. I really like it. I can't wait to actually wear it. I have a sneaking feeling that once I wash this, because I haven't washed it yet, I feel like once I wash it, it's gonna like stretch out because of the cotton, and it's gonna be like extra long, and then I'm gonna be like, man, this entire time I should have just made the smaller size and gone with it. But it's fine. So yes, that is my second, well, technically I guess my first finished object, full finished object, as a, like, not counting this one. So yeah, this is I did this counting last episode, 4th, yes, this is the 4th project from my Make 9, and I'm quite excited about it. Yay me. Yes, I do have a project page for this on Ravelry with notes about the modifications that I made. I did also find some errors in the pattern, which I noted in my project notes. So if you are also making one of these tops, I would say to check out my project notes, because those corrections are in there. And I'm also going to send a message to Elizabeth to see if maybe she can update the pattern, because it was just like a missing detail where in the decreases for the front side, she just forgot that she forgot the word decrease. So it looked like you were double crocheting into 2 stitches and then double crocheting again. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. And I looked at the pattern pictures, and the photo showed a double crochet 2 together and then going on about your business. So benefits of project pictures, right? Or sample photos, or whatever you want to call them. So those are all of the like crochet makes, finished objects that I have. Oh, I made this hat also. It doesn't have a pattern, but it's very similar to the pattern for my Orion slouch my Ryan slouch hat or slouch beanie, whatever I called it. Static, remember, static, bear with me. But yeah, it's made of, I think it's 100% cotton, something that I got when I first moved to Florida and I went to a yarn shop. Do you want to come up and say hello? Come on. You want to come up? No? Come on. You can come up. This is Kiva. She's standing, staring at me and wagging her tail. I don't know what you want. Do you want cuddles? No? You just want me to talk to you? Yeah? You want me to pet you? Yes. Yeah. Tootie's inside, and she's staring at us jealously from the back door. Tootie, do you want to come outside? It's a Tootie. Hi. You haven't been on the podcast in a little bit. Do you have anything you would like to say to anyone? Do you want to say hi to Smudge? Hi, Smudge! Tootie, Smudge is like your Australian twin, kind of. Twinish. Your Australian brother. Okay, guys. Oh, are you leaving? Okay, bye. Other finished objects. The rest of these finished objects are just spinning because evidently, as much as I use crochet and knitting as like those peaceful weapons in the battle for mental wellness, spinning is a whole nother beast. OMG. So like, if knitting and crochet, right, were like I don't even know. I almost feel like it's the difference between a rolling pin, like smoothing things out, and a steamroller. Rolling pins and steamrollers. That's what we're working with today, guys. So, yes. Steamroller spinning. Alright, so last episode I was talking about how I was thinking about splitting the spinning out into another like video all itself, and I think I was really thinking about that because at that point excuse me, I had a whole lot to say about spinning and like I really wanted to talk about it. That still might happen. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but yes. So I think on the last episode I showed you the fiber that I got from yes I did, the Youthful Fiber Farm and Mill. Excuse me, I showed you the fiber that I got from them, and I have begun spinning it. So the first fiber, or the fiber that I think her name is Kim. Yes. The fiber that Kim said for me to start out with was the Jacob wool, and I made these little tags. I'm trying not to show you the yarn, but I made these little tags. I didn't make these tags. I'm telling lies. I got these tags from Melody of the Melody Crochet Podcast. I want to say it was last year for my birthday, because our birthdays are a couple days apart, so we did like a swap, and this was in the goodies that she sent me. And you're supposed to use them for fabric swatches, like to remember stuff about them, but I was like, I'm gonna use these for my hand spun, because what I had been doing, and this is the paper that came with the Jacob wool that I had, just like some details and stuff about it, and then I wrote like notes and stuff at the bottom. So this is the finished Jacob wool. Yes, this is the finished Jacob, and it was really, like, it was pleasant to spin. I definitely feel like it was, this went, I think, more successfully because I had finished this one. Now this is the American wool that I've had in my stash for a while. I don't remember if I had this finished when I showed you or when I talked about it on last episode. But this is the American wool, and I'm saying that in quotes because I don't know what kind of American wool it is. Gray. And then this is the Jacob wool. You can see the Jacob is much more like fuzzy, and it has more more pokey outy bits. But I do look at how like different the color is, and I feel like it's more different like to the actual eye than it's showing up on camera. But I think that's really cool. Love bug. So, deets on Jacob. I started and finished this whole spin in one day. It's a 2-ply. I did this all on the 13th. So it's a 2-ply. I started with 2.4 ounces and I got 88 yards. The 88 yards is before I washed it, like soaked it and thwacked it. So it might be a little bit shorter. I haven't remeasured it because I'm not like making something from it like that I need to know the yardage. So there's that. And then this one, the American wool, it was about 4 ounces. And I wrote down somewhere how many yards this is. I remember writing it down, but I have no idea where I put that note. You would think I would write it in a notebook. I wish you guys could see Tootie when she barks and runs because she hops like a bunny rabbit. But yeah, I don't remember how many yards this actually finished up at. But yeah, I'll put that away. And like I said, this one was 88 yards. I don't think there's anything else I want to say about this just yet. The next one that I went up with is this yarn, and based on the comments from last video, this is pronounced Willamette, not Willamette or Willametta. Willamette. Did I say that right? But this fiber, I had 1.9 ounces and it came up to 128 yards. So I was able to get this a lot finer than the Jacob wool. And that, like, spinning fine was my plan for this. Like, I really, really wanted to see how thin or how fine a yarn I could get with my hand spinning. And I think I did really, really well with that. Let me see. This is also a 2-ply. I think until I dive into chain plying, I'm pretty much going to only do 2-plies. So I think that's about the thinnest that I was able to get on this particular spin. So I'm very proud of that. So those are 2 of the 3 fibers that Kim sent me. Sorry, my nose is itching. The last fiber I have from Youthful Fiber Farm and Mill. I don't know why it's so hard for me to remember what comes first, the fiber or the farm. What came first, the fiber or the farm? But this is the last wool sample that I have from them, and this is Shetland. So yeah, I think this is going to be next up on my wheel, just so that I can finish all of the youthful fibers, and like kind of have all of that like in my wheelhouse, you know, like knowing like what they feel like and everything like that. So these are my prickly, y'all. Like, holy cannoli. Out of them, they would go in this order, I think. Yeah. From prickliest to least prickly. This would be the order. When I finished spinning this, I was like, oh my goodness. This is like, it feels a little bit like tough in my hand. Not tough. Coarse. It feels coarse in my hands, but I was like, you know, it can't be that prickly. Oh, but it is. This is not like next to my skin. I feel like I might be able to get used to it, like if I had to, but as I live in Florida and do not have to, I don't think I'm going to put myself through that. But yeah, so we'll see where the Shetland falls on the prickliness scale. Yeah. So those are my finished spins, or these are my finished big spins. So I have some smaller ones. So I have two little minis here. I had to do a dog check. There's one right there and one over there. I have two little minis. These are the cutest things ever. So this fiber here is the fiber that I carded together when I pulled the fiber out for my mermaid lock. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah. So this fiber that I have in my mermaid lock is the same fiber that I have spun up here, which I think is really cool. I don't know what it is because it was a mix. Most of the fiber I got from one of my local yarn stores, the Barn Yarn. That's where most of this fiber came from, I believe. Oh, goodness. Come on. Here we go. So, yeah. This fiber and this spin was one of my peace of mind spins. Like, I didn't start this one with the goal of getting a consistent yarn. I just wanted the motion and the mindfulness that comes with, or that I have discovered comes with spinning. So like as you look through this like skein or this hank or these strands, you'll see that I have some that are super slubby, some that are like super thin. Yeah, I attribute that to the fact that I wasn't aiming at wanting to get a perfect yarn or anything like that. Like, this was really I need to breathe and I need the rhythm spin. Like, this was a needed spin. And if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen like a video. I think it's like the second one on my grid right now, but I'm spinning it, or I think it's the third, whatever, but I'm spinning on this fiber in the video. And I was just talking about the loss that we had in my family recently, and how drafting this fiber and working with this fiber was hard. Like, I felt like I was fighting against the fiber, and it was really a struggle to get through it. And then I kind of started thinking about how that is kind of how life is. When tragic and difficult things happen, it is hard to work through it, and you have to really put in like work, sometimes physical work and mental work and emotional work, and it's heavy lifting to be present for your family when you know they're dealing with the heaviness also, and being there to help them carry that. And that's kind of the space that I'm in right now. Yeah, but it came out beautifully. It's not perfect. It's got lumps, it's got bumps, it's got really fuzzy, nondescript, slubby, probably should have done this better pieces and parts. But so does life, you know. Life gives you really, really difficult parts. It gives you slubby bits that you wish you could just cut out. It gives you parts that are too thick, or parts that you feel like you're pulled too thin. Sometimes you're over twisted. But in the end, it'll all be okay. And that is what this yarn is for me. So, I got a little deep kind of quick, sorry. But not sorry. So yeah, I forget how much this one was, like how many yards it ended up being, but I will measure it and put its little tag on, and I think I'm going to make a small wall hanging out of this, because I want it to be like its own thing. Like, I don't want to mix it with anything, and I want it to stand alone, just to remind me of the thought processes and the wisdom that I got from it, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but there it is. Now this other piece, which has other yarn or other fiber on it, this is the fiber that I showed y'all in the last episode that I had added all of the Angelina to. And there was some sun. Where was it? There it is. You guys can kind of see that sparkle a little bit. Whenever I don't want the sun, it's everywhere. There it is. Yeah, you can see a little bit of the sparkle. But I sat outside. Can you stop yelling? Tootie, stop yelling. Tootie, put that tail down. Relax. Thank you. I sat outside and I spun this in the sun, and it was low-key magical. So this was another feeling spin. And I don't really have a lot to say about it. This is fiber that I got when I lived in Huntsville. If you ever find yourself in Huntsville, there's a shop there called Fiber Artworks. I definitely recommend it. The owner is super nice, and she's really enthusiastic about all things fibery. And I bought this fiber from her when I first learned to drop spindle. I don't remember how much it is. I think it's like half an ounce. So, yeah. I also wrote down somewhere how many yards I got out of this. Do I know where that piece of paper is? Not at all. Not at all. I act like I don't have a bazillion notebooks to keep these things in. But there's my two little minis. This fiber bled. Like, my fingers and hands were blue by the time I finished spinning this. So when I washed it, I made sure to let it sit in the water like extra long, to leach out however much of that extra fiber was just, or extra dye was just chilling on the fiber. But, those are my two little yarn, my feeling yarn nuggets. Yeah. All right, so on to works in progress. And I'm going to try to speed this up because my clock says I've been talking for 38 minutes. and I'm just now finishing finished objects. What have I been talking about? So, works in progress. Since we were, bugs. Ooh. It was a leaf. Don't panic. Since we were just talking about spinning, I do have a spin currently on. Tootie, come here. All right, so this is my current spinning work in progress, and this is some fiber that I bought from Hopkins Fiber Arts, Hopkins Fiber Co. I'll tell you more about it in a minute. But this is Corriedale something. It's from Hopkins Fiber Studio, and it is Corriedale Weesant? How do you say that? Weesant? I don't know. But it was 1 ounce, and I really enjoyed spinning this. It was squishier, like as a fiber. It was squishier than the ones that I have used so far, and I don't know. It kind of felt in the like the roving. It felt like more like a cotton ball kind of squishiness, as opposed to like the other fibers that I have been using. They have that cotton ball squishiness, but there's also like like you can specifically feel almost individual fibers. That doesn't make sense. I don't know how to describe it. I don't have the words. I don't know. But there's definitely a different hand. And I kept a little bit of the fiber to show you guys, and I think I'm also going to like start a spinning notebook and maybe keep little bits of the fiber, like the unspun fiber, in it. I'm still trying to figure out how to describe this. I don't know. But yeah, that's what is currently on my wheel. I finished this whole spin last night. I couldn't sleep last night. So I finished this whole bobbin last night, and I'm gonna do the plying today, I think, or I might just let it chill. So this was fun to spin. So that's my first work in progress. The next work in progress I'm going to show you, I did a whole lot of work on it last night because I couldn't sleep. But I don't think much of this was done at all the last time I showed it to you, which would have been the first time. I think I just had the fringe, but this is my wall hanging that I'm working on. So, got hooked in my shirt. So I have this fringe at the bottom, and then I'm doing a striped background with like it's a solid tan and like a variegated tan. All of this is acrylic yarn from my stash. This is the acrylic roving that I got. Is that a bug on me? Of course it is. This is acrylic roving that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I'm doing the pile stitch in here, and this is going to be in the shape of a heart. So what I did to get this, I took a piece of scrapbook paper and drew a heart, and then I marked out, I keep getting attached to my shirt. You can see those little pink dots. That is allegedly where my heart shape is going to go. All the bugs want to crawl on me today. But yeah, so I'm just kind of, I did all of the background and then leaving this empty, and then I filled it last night with the pile stitch, and then I'm going to continue and fill out all of the rest of the background and then fill in with the pile stitch. This is what the back looks like. You can see, like, down here I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing, and then I kind of like hit a rhythm in creating the stitches and going from row to row. But yeah, I really like how it's coming out. I can't wait to see it finished. I think it's going to be really cool. Last two works in progress are both knitting. So first I will show you this one, because I mentioned it last week, but I didn't show it last week because it didn't have a lot of work done. Or not last week. When I say last week and last episode, that was 2 weeks ago. So this is my retreat shawl. It's a pattern by Dawn Henderson. And it is balled up. I'm making this from Barocco Remix Light. And it is a triangular shaped shawl. It starts with a panel of reverse stockinette. So this is where I was the last time I showed it on the podcast. And after the reverse stockinette, it goes into, oh, you can see them here. It goes into a cable repeat. So I have one row of the cable V's completed. And yeah, that's it. This is in her pattern. Dawn says that you can do the cables without a cable needle. I need to learn how to do these particular, they're like single stitch cables. I need to learn how to do them without a cable needle, because that cable needle business is slowing me down, and it's a little bit frustrating to keep having to take out the needle, put the stitch on the needle, knit the thing, put the stitch back on the needle, blah 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 blah. It's a lot. So I need to learn how to do it without a cable needle. It's funny, I can do like 2x2 cables just fine without a cable needle, but for some reason my brain is like, I don't know how to do the 1x1. I don't know. Yes. So I actually haven't worked on that this week because I was working on the racerback top. And see, here's the sun. I needed you a little bit ago and you were nowhere to be found. But now you're bearing down on my neck and I'm going to get like a tan in this awkward shape plus a lace tan, which I think would actually be kind of cool. My next project is living in this project bag, and I actually have sad news about this project bag. I had a NASA pin on this bag. It was given to me by one of my podcasty friends. I was super excited about it. I loved it. It was from one of the shuttle launches with Japan, I think. And I loved the pin. It was great. I put a locking pin back on that thing and it still fell off. It's lost. It's gone. I'm very sad about it, but I'm glad that I took a picture of it, so at least I have the picture to comfort me in the night. But yeah, so take that as a cautionary tale. Even if you have locking pin backs on your pins, maybe don't take your favorite ones and put them on your project bags. Maybe not. But in this bag is this yarn that was given to me by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet, and this is Barocco socks in the colorway 1453. She knit socks out of these, and we ended up calling them the Volda socks because she hated them. So she sent me her leftovers, and I have started my own pair of Volda socks. So far, all I have is the toe and like 2 rows. You can't even see that, but you can see that this is different than this. I have like 2 rows of the body. Now since I have this much, I think it's like a little bit over 50 grams, maybe. I'm going to do a long tube and do the sock toe to toe, and then cut in afterthought heel and cut in afterthought cuffs. That way I can use up all of this yarn and won't have any leftovers. So the toes are Lion Brand Sockies, and this is the colorway Snow Cone, just a blue. And then my heels are going to be this, and I believe this is Deborah Norval's Serenity Sock in the gray colorway. It might be called Charcoal. And then the cuffs are going to be this again, because I don't think I have enough for heels and cuffs. But yes, that's everything. This is just going to be a basic vanilla sock. Maybe I might, no. It's going to be a basic vanilla sock, because this is I'm going to save this for travel knitting, because I have some traveling coming up soon. But yeah, but I do 64 stitches on a 2.25 millimeter needle, which is a US 1. I have knit the toe, then I'm going to knit all the way until I run out of the Volda sock yarn, and then I'm going to knit another toe, and then do the afterthought business. And then the afterthought technique that I use is the one that's in the Kirby Werby video. I always say that I'm going to link it, and I never do. I'm going to try to remember to link it. Or you could just search Kirby Werby afterthought heel. You'll find it. Are those all of my works in progress? Yes, those are all of my works in progress. So next we'll go into maker plans, and I do have one maker plan. It's a colorwork sock pattern that I'm doing in kind of dedicated to my brother-in-law Jason, and he recently passed away less than a week ago now. But he was like an awesome singer, musician, and I am making music socks. So the idea for this is going to be, I'm going to use these yarns, and this is part of my Stash Quisitions. This is String Theory Colorworks. It's her inertia base, which is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and this is the colorway Circumhorizontal Arc. Yeah, Circumhorizontal Arc. It is basically a rainbow, spaced out by pale blue, like a pale blue stripe with white flecks, so like a rainbow and a cloudy sky. So yeah, so this is what the stripes are going to be, and then I'm going to work this pattern with some black yarn. This is just Deborah Norval Serenity Sock. Yeah, so those are going to be my Jason socks. I think he would have loved them. Yes, that's what these are. So that's my only maker plan that I have. Now, I've never done color work, so if you have any tips for doing color work, leave them down below. Stash Quisition time, y'all. Now, over the past 2 weeks, I bought some yarn, which I just showed you. I got some Happy Mail. I got a swap. I got 2 swaps. And I bought some fiber. So I'm going to show you the fiber real quick because it's pretty like nondescript. This is also from Hopkins Fiber Studio, and she does samples where you can get a 1 ounce sample of different kinds of fibers, which is really what I wanted to do. It's really what I wanted to do with, like, since I'm beginning spinning, and I wanted to like try as many different fibers as I could to figure out, like, do I have a preference? Do I like a particular kind of fiber over another? etc. So these are both Finn. This is like a natural white and this is a natural gray. I got 2 ounces of each one so that I could do a 2-ply, but I'm kind of thinking of doing a 2-ply marl where one of the plies is the white, the other ply is the gray. I'm not sure. The 1 ounce samples that she sells go for $2.25. But I was actually able to pick these up on sale because she had a Mother's Day sale. So yes, these are my current like projects, or not projects. These are the fibers that I got from Hopkins Fiber Studio. I'm also considering getting, she's got hand-dyed yarns. She has hand-dyed fiber. I think when I get to the point where I feel comfortable and confident enough in my like spinning skills, I'm not going to ruin it. I'm definitely going to get some fiber from her, some hand-dyed fiber. The other things that I purchased 3 patterns over the last couple weeks. Whenever in the past I've purchased patterns, I always forget to tell you guys about them because they're like on the computer, right? So I don't like, out of sight, out of mind. But I specifically wrote these down because I definitely wanted to make sure to share them. The first is Las Nubes, which is a crochet top by Crochet Cakes, Clarissa Beth of Crochet Cakes. It is, I think it's a bottom up. Yeah, it's a bottom up raglan with a really cool lace pattern in the bottom, like around the hem. So I'm really excited to make that. I kind of want to start it like now, if I'm honest, but I want to make sure that I have like the right yarn for that pattern, right? So here's a picture of it. The next pattern that I got was Ibukun, which is a striped sweater, like striped pullover, handmade by Kunbi. And here's a picture of it. But I'm really excited about this sweater because it's just a basic like pullover sweater. So I feel like it is kind of like a canvas to do whatever kind of shenanigans I really want to get into, like as far as like designs or textures or stuff like that. So I'm excited about that. Another plus for these 2 patterns for me was that they did allow me to support other makers of color, which is definitely something that I want to do in this space, like talking about other makers of color as well as supporting other makers of color with my money. So yeah, that's really awesome. I'm excited about both of these patterns because of the potential that they have, right? So thumbs up for those. Now the third pattern that I purchased, I think it just came out yesterday. I want to say it came out yesterday. I don't know. Brain's mush. We all know this. It is the Lake of Nine shawl by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage Crochet. The reason I'm excited about this pattern is because her whole inspiration for this particular pattern was the video game God of War. I'm not a gamer. Like nobody in my family is really a gamer, or are really gamers, but my friend Cherie's husband plays God of War, and she's like, I don't know if she really would qualify herself as a gamer, but as soon as I saw the pattern and I heard the inspiration, I was like, obviously this is something that I have to make with Cherie in mind. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, do you wear shawls? And she was like, yeah. So thumbs up. I'm going to be making that pattern for my friend. Very excited about it. Also, Hannah does a like an introductory video of the shawl. So I would definitely say hop over to her channel, take a look at it, see if the Lake of Nine shawl is something that you would wear, and then go ahead and support one of the awesome makers of our community. Yes. So from there, we'll jump into the swaps and Happy Mail that I received. So the first swap, I did a swap with a podcast viewer. Her name is Brigitte, and she lives in Slovenia. I'm not even gonna front. When she first got in touch with me and said she lived in Slovenia, I was like, I don't even know where that is. I had to Google. Now I know where Slovenia is. But we did a swap. I sent her some goodies, I went and found Mickey ears for her kids, so I hope they really enjoy that. But yeah, so she sent me back some goodies. There was some chocolate in there, which was delicious, and I really stretched that chocolate. And the last piece, I gave it to Lamar, who is my husband, if you don't know. Just want to put that out there into the universe. I was nice enough to share my Slovenian chocolate with my husband. But she also sent me some yarn. And this is Regia. I've never used Regia yarn before, so I'm excited about this. This is the design line by Arne and Carlos. Color 03760. I'll have to see if it has a name. Love bug, go away. Thank you. I have to see if it has a name. I'm not sure, but this is what it looks like. It's one of those self-patterning socks. This is kind of giving me like low-key Christmas vibes, so I might have to put this away and make Christmas socks out of it for the end of this year. And then this one is Cotton Color Tutti Frutti 2, and it's also a self-patterning sock. Now I'm excited about this one because it is 72% cotton, 18% polyamide, and 10% polyester. So that's going to be an interesting fiber to make socks out of. I have to do a little bit of research to see if I need to go down a needle size or up a needle size or what needs to be done. But this is a self-patterning, and look how it patterns. It makes watermelon socks. I'm so excited. So I showed this to my mom, and I told her that I'm gonna have to make us matching socks because this is just too cute. And I'm thinking maybe shorty socks. Well, obviously shorty socks, because I'm making 4 socks out of this one ball of yarn. Which, how much is in here? 100 grams, 459 yards, or 420 meters. Okay, that's cool. So I'll be able to get my 2 pair of socks out of this. But I'm really excited to see this patterning up. This is just too cute. And my mom was excited about it too. So thank you so much, Brigitte, for swapping with me and sharing those goodies. She also sent some really good apple candy, which I have been slowly making my way through. They're hard candies, so it wasn't they're easier to slowly eat as opposed to the chocolate bar that I basically murked. The next swap that I did, no, it wasn't a swap. The next stash position is my Happy Mail that I received from Peaches. So hi, Peaches. She got in touch with me on Instagram saying that she remembered me talking about creating something with fabric yarn, and she had a bunch of fabric yarn in her stash that she wasn't going to use, so she offered to send it to me. Now I wasn't expecting this much fabric yarn. She sent me 7 skeins of this yarn, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I do want all 7 skeins to go into the same project. So whatever it's going to be a big one. So this is Freedom Yarn. It's teal orange. Is that the color name? Yeah. It's teal orange, and she got it from Hobby Lobby. So this is what it looks like. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I might actually save some of this to go into like a wall hanging or something like that, because I think that texture would be really cool. But she also sent me a matching stitch marker, and she had all of the skeins except for this one were brand new, still like wrapped up. But this one she had used, but she said I think she said it's still a full cake or a full skein. But this is what it looks like, and it feels like it's just like regular cotton. So just strips about a 1/2 inch wide. No, yeah, about a 1/2 inch wide. Yeah. So I'm excited to come up with something to use all of this with. Yeah, and it's 100% cotton too. Each ball is 150 grams, which is 75 yards or 68 meters. So, cool beans. I'm excited about this. This is really cool. So that was the, oh no, there's another swap. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. How to get all the way over there. I did a swap with Brittany of Crafts Untold a couple weeks ago. I'm pretty sure I didn't show this in the last episode. If I did, my bad. But she sent me this mini skein that she hand dyed herself. So I discovered that she has a podcast, and I started watching, from the beginning to current, and she actually shows this skein on her podcast. So that was kind of cool to see it there and then have it here. And she sent me this Knit Picks Imagination yarn, and it's the Loch Ness colorway. And Knit Picks Imagination, I think it's discontinued, but it was 50% merino, 25% alpaca, and 25% nylon. So this is what the this is what the colorway looks like. So very like watery, which is evidently something I get down with. This would have been like great during the Pisces season make along. So I've got 2 of those. And yeah, she also sent me some fabric scraps of comic book characters, DC comic book characters. And yes. So now those are all of the swaps. The last couple things that I have to show you for Stashquisitions are a couple books that my father-in-law gave me. I don't know where he found these, but they are pretty awesome. So this is Jen Lucas Sock Yarn Accessories, 20 knitted designs with style and savvy. Let's see if they have one of those pages that like shows you all the different things. No? Okay. Like there's this shawl. It's called Adorn. And it looks really, really pretty and delicate. That's pretty cool. And then there are these socks. What are these called? Fergus. Those look really nice. And I like the orange. I don't think I have anything in orange. Never mind. Lies. He also gave me this book, which is Vanna's Favorite Crochet Gifts, Afghans, Home Decorations, Fashion, and More. Good old Vanna. Let's see. What's something in here that I think would be pretty cool to show you. There's like so many like Afghans in here. Like if I didn't think that it takes like a million years, I would make myself another blanket. but it takes a bajillion years. Like, look at this. This would be like the perfect Christmas blanket, right? Like, you only bring this blanket out at Christmas time and you snuggle under it next to your Christmas tree, like drinking hot cocoa, and while the crackling fire plays on the TV. So those are 2 books from my father-in-law. And I just love whenever like my in-laws find things like this, they get them for me and they're like, oh, Kalisha does this. And I'm like, yes, I do. Now, this last stashquisition is something I find pretty cool. I have no idea how to use it. One, because the instructions are confusing and I can't really figure it out, and they don't really have a website. So I was at my local Goodwill, as I do, and I came across this. Now, when I saw this, I was like, oh wow, I could probably use this in my like learn how to dye self-striping yarn adventure that I'm thinking of going on. Because like with all the pegs, you can kind of get like kind of use it as a warping board, right? Like you guys see that. But what it is a hand loom. So if you can see, like right here, whoever used it had started to weave on it. And these are like your, what do you call it? Shed stick. So these pull down on half of your, like these are the warp threads. These pull down on half of the warp thread so you can put the shed or the shuttle through here with the weaving yarn. The weft. So you can put the shuttle through with the weft yarn. The only thing that I can't figure out is how to open the other shed. So now I say that it is confusing because this is the instructions. Like they look like there's a lot of detail in it, but there's really not. This is a hand loom that was made by Saltery Dreams Renaissance Craft Shop. So I'm thinking that this is something that was for sale at like a Ren Fair or something like that. And I was really excited to see it. And I got it for only $1.99, so that was really cool. And yeah, so I tied this knot here to tighten up the warp when I was trying to figure out the whole shed situation. Never did figure it out. Tried Googling, I tried YouTubing it, no such luck. So I'm actually going to reach out to Chanel of the Piper Nell podcast because they're currently doing a lot of work with weaving. I think that's going to be their area of study, or that is their area of study. They do a lot of weaving, and I figure if there's anybody that I know in this community that probably has some sort of idea of what this thing actually is and how to use it, it's Chanel. So gonna do that. This bag has extra pegs in it and then a couple shuttles that came with the whole kit. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. That was a pretty cool find. That is everything for stashquisitions. In my Life and Whatnot section, I put an update on the Mental Health Awareness Love Bomb, like progress. I have been making my ribbons. I haven't turned any of them into ribbons yet. So I just have a bunch of like little green worms. So I will go, once I have like all of the worms made, I'll go back and stitch them together to the awareness ribbons. And I actually found a pack of these little tags at the Goodwill for like 99 cents. So I'm going to tie these on and put my little message on here. Now, what I did last year was on the front, you write like an encouraging message, or it can be like to someone that you know who is struggling, like having a mental health struggle. It can be a general message. It can be like words of encouragement that you wish someone would have said to you. So you want to put it out there into the world to go to someone else. So I put the message of encouragement on the front, and then on the back, I put the hashtag, which is MHA Love Bombs. And I also put the hashtag mental health awareness. That way, you know, whoever finds the love bomb can also read all of the rest of the messages from the other ones. Now, we have had, so far, one person has made like a bunch of them and dropped them off to, I think she said it was her hairdresser that she dropped them off at. But I will put a picture of them here. Thank you so much, Brenda, for joining in and sharing with the mental health awareness love bombs. Of course, anyone, like, you guys can definitely join in, make one love bomb, make a grip of love bombs. I just want this to be a thing to spread positivity out into the world, because it gets hard out there sometimes, guys. Yes. So that's everything, guys. I'm just looking in all of my bags that I have surrounding me, which are currently getting attacked by ants. And I think this is a good time to go back inside because the sun has found me yet again, and it's starting to make my neck feel nice and toasty. Who knows, I might end up with a lacy back. If when I go inside and I check, if I have a lacy tan, like lacy tan lines on my back, I'm totally going to share that picture on Instagram. Totally. I think that would actually be kind of cool. But I'm not going to sit outside any longer to make that a reality. I think I'm going to go inside and have a snack. So, with that, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for being part of my universe. Leave a comment down below of something positive that happened to you this week. Please leave comments of positive things, because I love reading them. I am asking selfishly for myself that you leave positive things in the comments so that I can have lots of things to smile at. That's everything, guys. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a wonderful whatever it is when you're watching this. Hug your loved ones. Bye.
Listen, I thought of it, I didn't want to say it out loud.
Oh, shit, really did?
I really did think it. I was like, why does he look lighter than you?
He really looks lighter.
That's his wife.
Oh, gosh.
That's not Peter.
It's Paulette! It's Paulette!
I can't.
Okay.
Don't keep saying it.
This lizard is blonde.
Yes, compared.
This lizard is straight up blonde.
Oh, shiitake mushrooms. He's moving. He's gone. He's moving. Which way? He's going to the corner. Oh no, he's turning around. Listen, bro, we gonna smash up really last time.
I can't breathe. My back hurts.
This is not how you end the day.
This is not how I thought this day was going to end. Did I get it?
I don't see him. did, hopefully. Wait, you gonna get the bowl?
I need you to get something because I'm gonna lose. Oh. Okay. Watch this lizard just not even be on it.
Oh, it's dragging something.
Please let there be a lizard under here. Jesus, please let there be a lizard. Are you ready? Do you need 2 hands?
This lizard is magical. This lizard is straight up magical. Change colors, change identity, disappear. Okay.
Like,
He's gonna be, now he's probably underneath.
Can't believe that lizard wasn't under there. I'm so hopeful.
That was very sad. And I heard something dragging. I don't know what I heard. Maybe it was
Wet bristles.
Oh, I see him, but he's not all the way in the broom. He's gonna wriggle out. Put more pressure on, yeah.
I think I can move him like this. Can you move the bookshelf? Oh man, I feel like he's gonna get. Oh. I'm sorry, lizard. Oh, there's his tail. Can you move these cords? Okay.
How far are we going?
Like just out to where the bowl can fit.
Okay.
That's his tail right there. You see it?
Yes! So put it like this?
Yep. Gosh, what do? Wait, lift it up a little bit. I can't see. Okay.
You just need to like
I
do a
don't-
countdown. And like you release.
Wait.
Unless you want to unscrew that and leave the whole thing under there. Can the whole thing fit?
Oh yeah, probably.
Okay.
Wait, take
Oh,
the
wait,
bowl
no,
off.
it won't. We need a bigger bowl.
Oh,
there's like it's
yes,
exposed.
yes.
Okay, look at it. Okay, we might need a bigger bowl. There's a bigger bowl. He's still in the room!
Okay. You know what?
Can you drag him? Well, you can't drag him all the way outside.
Get ready with the bowl.
Okay. Oh, God.
Wait, do you want to lift the broom and I'll do the bowl?
No, I don't do. I don't think I
You don't want to do any of it? Okay. All right.
I'm here and I'm gonna do this part right here the best that I can.
Why?
Can I just step on it? I think he's stuck. He's stuck. Because when you just lifted it, he's in the bristles, like in the middle of it. That's why we
You
can't drag it
little
out.
jerk!
Okay.
All right. Okay.
No! I was gonna say you could untwist that. Untwist that part and we just cover the whole bottom part of that.
Don't step on it!
But then how are we gonna keep it from running out?
The whole thing in here.
No, you cannot lift it.
You said he's stuck in the bristles, right?
Yes, but then what are you gonna do after that? Put the whole broom outside with the bag?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to know what the plan is.
We need. The delirium is setting in again. Oh my gosh. Watch the lizard. Yes. Everything's going in.
Oh, open the door.